any idea where Egyptians deposit their money, Sherman?
Sure, the banks of the Nile.
Oh, well, I guess they do. At any rate, that's where we're going today.
Where?
To the banks of the Nile.
To deposit money?
No, to meet Egypt's most famous and beautiful queen, Cleopatra. I instructed Sherman to set the Wayback Controls for the year 42 BC. And the place, Cleopatra's royal palace. Unfortunately, when we arrived, we found the queen in the midst of having a shave.
Hokey smokes! I didn't know she had a beard.
She didn't. This was her evil brother, Prince Ptolemy.
Oh, boy, now that I'm the ruler of Egypt, I'm really going to liven things up around here.
Excuse us, your royal Ptolemy, sir, but where's Cleopatra?
Floating down the Nile on a raft, and in about 2 seconds, the crocodiles should have her.
You can be sure we hastened to the rescue.
There she is, Mr. Peabody. And look, there are crocodiles all around her.
Well, Nile crocodiles, as everyone knows, are frustrated actors. This gave us a plausible reason for putting on an impromptu performance of Uncle Tom's Cabin. I'll get you, little Eva. You won't get away from me.
Oh, no, you won't, you nasty Uncle Tom. I shall cross yonder ice floes and escape from you.
Well, the crocs, as I knew they would, pretended they were blocks of ice and gave a sterling performance. Sherman or little Eva dashed out across them with myself or Uncle Tom in warm pursuit. By the time we reached the far shore, we had not only picked up some new members for the Screen Actors Guild, but Cleopatra as well.
Thank you, little doggy, for rescuing me.
I am not a little doggy, Your Highness. I am Mr. Peabody.
And I'm Sherman.
How come you're not marching to the sea?
That was General Sherman, madam. This one is only a second lieutenant. Suddenly the air was filled with the blare of trumpets. Looking over a small hill, we saw the valley below was filled with a huge army.
Wow, whose army is that?
Caesar's.
Sid Caesar's?
Julius Caesar's.
Say, I'll bet he'd help Cleopatra get her throne back.
He would if he became infatuated. You think you could charm the great Caesar into assisting your cause, Cleopatra?
Are you kidding?
Cleopatra began her saturation campaign by entering Caesar's tent during his 2 o'clock feeding.
Oscrotcha artist! This is the vilest Caesar salad I've ever tasted. Who's got the salt?
Here it is, Julie, baby. You want some pepper, too?
At 4 o'clock, Caesar reviewed his troops.
You, soldier, you know better than to hold a dirty spear.
I am sorry, O Caesar, but I had nothing to clean it with.
Clean it with mint.
Spearmint?
Arrest that man! And you, soldier.
Hello, Julie, honey.
The crowning blow came when the great man dictated a letter that was to be sent back to Rome.
And I shall return during the Ides of March.
Is that all, sir?
That is all. Sign it yours sincerely, Julie, baby.
Julie, baby?
Oh, I must be going mad. Leave me. I seem to be haunted by the voice and face of a beguiling vixen. Perhaps I have a virus.
You look good to me, Julie Tiger.
Even the mirror looks like her.
By morning, Julius Caesar was on the verge of an unnervous breakdown, and that's when Cleopatra, escorted by 2 Egyptian guards, who resembled a boy and a dog, had it out with him.
You're devastatingly beautiful, you minx, you. Sail go steady with me.
She will if you'll attack Ptolemy and kick him off the throne.
Caesar, of course, would do anything, so that afternoon he and his vast legions lined up in front of Egypt's royal palace.
Spear throwers, attack!
1,000 deadly spears were launched in the direction of the palace wall, but Ptolemy was a clever man, for suddenly a huge screen popped up, a screen that had been coated with rubber. The spears merely hit the screen and returned from whence they came. Boulders were even catapulted, but they too bounced back.
If this keeps up, we'll be victorious losers.
Do something, Mr. Peabody.
And I did. First of all, I covered myself with bandages. To the enemy, I would appear to be a dog mummy, which was sacred to the Egyptians in those days, as everyone knows. Then I left the Roman lines and ran as best I could to the palace wall. A mighty leap, and I was over. 1 hour later, I returned to Sherman, Caesar, and Cleopatra. You may renew the assault, Julius.
But what good'll it do?
I insisted he follow my orders. A barrage of boulders was again sent flying at the walls, and again the rubber screen popped up, only this time there was a gaping hole in it, courtesy of yours truly. The rocks roared through the aperture, and inside of 10 minutes the walls came a-tumbling down, and Ptolemy with them. Cleopatra had her throne, and Caesar had Cleopatra. As for Sherman and me, we had ourselves a short sightseeing tour of the marketplace in Cairo.
Step right up, folks. Buy yourself a genuine Egyptian pharaoh barometer. Take a barometer home to the little woman.
Look at that, Mr. Peabody. That man is selling barometers shaped like pharaohs.
Yes, they not only sold slaves in Egypt, they sold barometers as well.
I never knew they could forecast the weather.
You never heard of Pharaoh and Warmer?